Now in this lesson we are going to talk about how to set up image rendering in Grafana. So I've been getting many requests from people. They are not able to send images when the email alert is being sent. So in this lesson, let's go ahead and configure everything from start. So you'll be able to send images as part of Grafana email alerting. So let's go ahead and see the documentation first. If you go to the documentation and you go to use images in notification section, and here you are going to see all the steps and different type of deployment which has been mentioned. But the easier one is basically just install Grafana image rendering plugin, and then there are some settings which we need to perform. So let's go ahead and do those. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and install Grafana plugin. So just go to this plugin and copy these instructions and go to Grafana server. There you can just go ahead, copy paste it, and then it is going to install Grafana image render services. So while installation is progress, let's go ahead and discuss about configuration. So if you scroll down here on the configuration document, you can see there are some parameters which we need to set up. For example, these are the parameters we need to set up in the configuration file. So after the installation is done, installation actually has completed. So let's go ahead and edit Grafana configuration file, which will be typically at etc grafana.ini location. Let's search for render, and we are going to go to image rendering section. In fact, I'm going to search for this unified alerting. So let's go to that section. Now here you will notice we have unified alerting, but if you try to search for screenshots, maybe you will not get that section. So it doesn't matter if that section is already not available, we can go ahead and create that. So I'm just going to add this here. You can see we are adding unified alerting screenshots. Basically in documentation it is written it is already set to capture as false, but we need to set up this to true actually to make it work. Other than this, you can also set up some additional parameters which is not required for the time being. These are mostly to make sure basically how many concurrent screenshots you can take, and also if you want to store images on the cloud, maybe you want to store images externally, in those cases you can perform additional settings, but for the time being it is not required. So this is the only setting we are going to make. Let's save it and exit from here. And after that you also need to make sure, I'm just going to this troubleshooting image rendering documentation. So if you go here, you can see if there are some issues in image rendering services, that can be because of libraries are missing. So we are going to make sure that we have all the required libraries. So again, depending on the operating system which you are using, for example in case you are using Ubuntu, just make sure all these libraries are installed. And I'm using CentOS, so I'm going to make sure all these libraries are installed. So I'll copy it again, and I'm just going to do sudo yum install -y and going to paste all these libraries. You can see it's like almost 20 libraries which are required. So if any of these libraries are missing, you will see image rendering service is not working properly. So let's wait until all of these libraries are installed. So all the libraries and packages which were required, it is already available and up to the latest version. We have already performed all of these required settings and configuration and installation of the plugin. So let's go ahead and restart the services. So I'm going to do systemctl restart grafana-server, and it is going to restart Grafana services. After that we will see the status. Let's go ahead and check the status now. And here we can see Grafana is working fine. So let's go ahead and refresh our Grafana web browser instance. So here you can see we are connected to Grafana. I'm going to go to explore, and here let's create a Prometheus query where we are using, let's say we want to use memory, and let's select node memory free bytes. So this is going to basically let us know how much is the free memory available. So here you can see again the graph is being shown. So I'm just going to now click here and select add to dashboard. So it's gonna be added here in the dashboard. Now let's save this dashboard. Let's call it I'm just gonna call it system monitoring, and we can keep it in the dashboard folder. If you have created any other folder, you can keep it there. Let's save it. Now we have panel ready. So let's go ahead and edit it. Again, if you want to apply some filter, you can do those things. I'm not going to go here in detail and talk about all these, how to create panel and all. We are going to focus here only on how to send email alerts. So I'm going to go to alerts and then going to go to create alert rule from this panel, and we can name this alert rule. Let's call it high resource usage because it's about high memory usage. And here we do have our panel which was there. We have that query. Here you can see if I click on run query, it's not giving me any data. So we can just go ahead and in the options we can select table, and here you can see as soon as we select table we are seeing the data. Now if you want to add more queries, you can do that by going to add query, but for now this is okay. and then we are going to go to B section. So the query number first is called A, and then in B section, if you want to apply some function, maybe some grouping or min, max, you can apply all those things. For the time being, everything looks okay, so I'm going to move on to threshold, and here you can see we can apply our threshold settings. So let's say when memory usage goes more than 600 million, I want to send some email alert. Or if let's say memory utilization is less than 600 million, in that case I want to send email alert. Again, these numbers are in bytes, so that's why you are seeing million. So let's go ahead and set up, if memory utilization is below 500 million, then we want the alert. So now we have set up the threshold. Click on preview. Now after you click on preview, you are going to see here what is the data which is coming, and here you can see status of 0 or 1. If it is 0, it means there is the condition is okay and threshold has not met. So you will see here it is showing as normal. It means alert is not going to be triggered. How if I change it to above and click on preview, you can see in this case basically we are going to get the alert. So let's go ahead and keep this for now. Because we want email alert to be triggered. And then here in the set evaluation behavior, we are going to we don't have any evaluation behavior folder here. Let's go ahead and create a folder, and let's call it high usage. And here in the evaluation group, I'm going to create a new evaluation group, and let's call it evaluate every 10 seconds. And here evaluation interval also I'm going to set it to 10 seconds. And now here in the pending period also I'm just going to keep it 10 seconds because I basically want alert to be coming as soon as possible. And here in the configure no data and error handling, let's say if basically there is no data being sent, in that case what you want to be done, if you want it to be set to alerting, you can change it to alerting. And in case there is an error, in those cases what is the thing we want to do? So I'm just going to keep both of these alerting. So basically if Grafana doesn't get any data, in that case also we are going to get alert, and if there is any timeout or there is any execution error, in that case also basically should trigger an alert. Now next section is about adding annotation. If you want, you can add that. For now we can skip it. Now here we have configure notification. So here if you want, you can create some labeling group redirection, but I think this is also for now not required. So we can click on preview routing, and we can see which notification policy this alert is going to go to. So you can see by default it is going to go to Grafana default email. And if you go here to notification policy, let's open it in a new tab. In fact, we should have gone to contact points, and here we can see Grafana default email. If you edit it, you can see to which email address this email is going to go to. So let's go ahead and set up my email address, which is this one. And if you want, you can set up some optional email settings. For now it's not required. Let's go ahead and save this contact point. Now you can see basically it is going to go to Grafana default email contact point, so which is this one, and inside this we have set up our email. So let's go ahead and click on save rule and exit. Now click on apply. So pretty soon it is going to send an alert, and we are going to wait and see whether we get the alert, and we will see whether we are getting the images in the alert or not. Also I'm just going to change it to 5 minutes. So if you can see this one is red, it means alert has been triggered. So we need to just wait for the email to arrive. And here also you can see a broken heart symbol, which is basically Grafana way of saying that threshold has been breached. And while we are waiting for the email, let's also go ahead and check it here on the server. And on server I just want to go to cd where lib Grafana. And if you go here, you can see we have installed a plugin, right, which is image rendering plugin. So if I do ll here, you can see we do have a plugin which is called Grafana image rendering. So if I go to Grafana image, let me go to Grafana image rendering plugin here. You can see these are the again settings which is available for Grafana image rendering. And here you can see we have received the email alert as well. Let's open it, and here you can see we have received the image in the alert. If you want to see the logs, let's say it is not working in your case, you can go ahead and do tail-f where log Grafana, and inside this we have grafana.log file. Again, depending on what is the error you see here, you will be able to perform the troubleshooting. Now one thing, if you notice here, each time whenever an image alert is going, an image is being generated here in this directory. So if you go here in cd, I'm just going to cancel it, go to let's clear the screen, and let's go to this directories where library Grafana, and inside Grafana if you see we have basically plugin directory. Here you can see this png directory has just been created because a new image has been rendered, and all those images are kept in png directory. So if you do ll here, you can see now there is an image here, and this is the same image which is basically been embedded here in this alert. So when you are enabling Grafana image rendering, again there are more number of images which are going to be kept here. So make sure again disk utilization and all those things are being taken care. You have sufficient disk space available to perform these activities. And if you want Grafana image rendering services to be set up on a remote host, you can do that as well. Those instructions are also available here if you go to the documentation. So again, depending on what is the setup you want to achieve, go ahead and make the changes as per mentioned in the Grafana documentation. So that's it in this session, guys. See you again in the next lesson.